Today I'm going to show you how I record songs. This summer, after the terrible flood disaster in Germany here, I started to record my new album, and I said I'm almost finished with it. I got 14 songs. I don't know if they will all appear on the album, but maybe also I will write another one. But for most of them, I have to say they're about maybe 90 or 100% finished. And I like the result very much. Very pleased with the sound and also with the melodies, the guitar work. But of course, I'm producing and writing these songs like I want them. So if I wouldn't like it, then I wouldn't do it like that. So I do it basically for myself. Of course, I like it, or I'm happy if other people like it. But anyway. But today, the purpose of this video is to show you a little bit how I organize my songs when I record and produce them. And unfortunately, I couldn't connect the output of my interface with the camera properly, so you don't hear the sound today. But also, I don't want to show you the songs before they will officially be published. But anyway, you will hear a little bit of the sound through this microphone. And here's my DAW, which is Cubase I'm using. And as you can see, here are the tracks of one song, which is called 20 Years. Kind of a little bit a slower, epic song. But I chose this one because it has lots of tracks. And it's maybe good for explanation. Here you can see the actual tracks. The yellow and orange ones are the vocal tracks. The gray ones are mostly guitars. Also the green ones are guitars. And the pink one is the bass. And blue is the drums. And then here is one track where I'm using a synth, Halion Cubase synth, where I played a little bit of strings or some atmospheric sounds on it. And here we have the optimization tracks, for example the delay on the vocals, which I will show you in a second. And what I usually do when I'm recording and also when I'm mixing live is I'm sending some tracks to one subgroup. And for example here I'm sending the guitars all to one subgroup, and as you can see here, it's quite a lot of guitar tracks. Let's count them, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 guitar tracks here, and they're all routed to one subgroup, which is called, where do we have it, Rhythm Git. But the name is maybe not correct. It's also the leads are coming here. I don't do that much except limiting. And to me, limiting is a key factor to a fat sound. Limiting is basically you are cutting the signal if it's below a certain threshold, above a certain threshold. And then you can raise the overall signal like you want it. And here, as you can see, my setting is it's a stereo track, of course, because everything is going here. And when we turn on the track, you can see it's limiting here, and this is all the just all the guitars which are played here at the moment. So if I'm just activating the guitars, you can hear, as you can see here, now in the chorus. All the guitars are going here. And also, I'm sending some of the guitar tracks to a delay, which is an effect track. Here, the guitar delay. using a ping pong delay. So it's a stereo track, widens up, and as you may imagine, these are mostly the lead guitars which go to the delay. And also the delay of the guitars is going to the rhythm kit. So if you're doing that, then you have one fader, the rhythm guitars here, which you can limit, and you have maybe 15 guitar tracks. But also if only 2 guitar tracks are playing in some sections, they're at the same volume than if 15 are playing. So in other words, it's not that suddenly the guitars are much louder because in some sections you have 4 guitar tracks instead of only 2 going. And also the delay makes a huge difference, because also the delay is creating volume, and it's even more oscillating than usual guitar tracks, because usual guitar track you turn it on and it's going for a while, especially if it's a distorted guitar, it's compressed, it's always the same signal, and you have, for that period, you have the same, usually more or less the same volume. But with the delay, it's always coming and going and coming and going, so it's always oscillating. And yeah, to eliminate these huge gaps in the volume, I'm using the limiter on the whole guitar track. So this is guitars, not only rhythm guitars, it's just guitars. And yeah, also as you can see here in this song, I'm using one other fader for the clean guitars. As you can see here, there are 4 guitar tracks which are going to this clean gits track. So I'm treating them separately, and that is something I don't always do, but in this section I wanted to have a little bit more control just over the clean guitars. And as you can see here, it's the same thing. I'm limiting with a little bit of different settings, of course. Of course, you have to adjust the limiter always to your overall signal, because if you set too drastic, if you set the threshold too low, then it will end up in distortion, and you don't want distortion, especially with clean guitars. Also here I'm adding a little bit of delay, reverb. So that is it. And as you can see here, I'm always panning the guitars. So here there are 4 tracks, but it's maybe 2 tracks of a clean guitar. One is strictly panned to the left, one strictly to the right. Maybe I can show you that. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's just my Harley Benton Fusion played on, I think maybe the neck pickup split mode from AxeFx. Left side. On the right side, maybe I'm using a little bit of another pickup setting. And also it's very important that you play separate tracks. Don't copy the tracks, because usually when you're playing, you're always playing a little bit different. And if you are doubling guitars, then always you can compensate these differences. But if you just copy the track, then maybe the differences are just more emphasized. That makes sense. So you have to play each track separately. And also here are 2 tracks of an acoustic guitar, which is an Ovation. Copy, Harley Benton Ovation. Just recorded with a condenser mic. Also one on the left, one on the right, and it blended together, and yeah, that is the resulting sound. So we have here 4 tracks of clean guitars, and then the other 11 tracks are maybe, I don't know, are they all distorted? Maybe all distorted guitars. So I don't do that much to the guitars, I think. Let's open one track. As you can see here, I don't do anything. In fact, these get left and right. These are my usual rhythm tracks. It's just the sound, how it's coming from the AxeFx. By the way, when I'm recording, I'm usually using the AxeFx as an interface and recording direct. In the past, I recorded also the DI signal, I could reamp, but I didn't do that. And also, I'm so happy with the sound here now, so I didn't record the DI signal, just the guitar signal. Each guitar track is mono. And yeah, I don't do anything here, you can see, and maybe I do something on the solo. The solo, you can see I'm limiting the solo track, which is helping the solos. Just the solo guitar is always the same level in the main guitar solo. This is a solo. And as you can see here, the solo track is also sent to the delay, as I said before. This is the effects track with the delay. And of course you could put the just the delay here on this track, but then you would need a stereo track, and here you have the benefit that you have the delay on a separate track going, and also if you harmonize something in the solo part, I don't know if I did it in this song. Maybe not, but if you harmonize something, you can also send the harmonized guitar to the delay, and then all the whole harmonized part will be delayed, which is usually the case where what you want. So yeah, that is basically what I do with guitars. Not that much equalization. I think I'm using a low and high cut somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, here on the rhythms. So let's look at that. It's the low cut is at 53 Hertz, which is not that high, so it doesn't do that much. And the high cut is at 6K, which is a little bit higher. It's maybe, I don't know, it's maybe audible, but let's start the track. It's yeah, something which worked for me. But no equalization. As you can see, I raised here the 2K, but it's turned off. So just limiting the guitars. And yeah, that's it for the guitars mainly. The other things are similar. Let's yeah, come to the vocals. Also here we have one vocal track, which is the lead vocals. And it's also the case that I have the vocals sent to a subgroup which is called I don't know, Vox or something. Where is it? I'm not quite sure if I sent all the vocals to that. Let's check it out. Maybe I Vox new. Okay. Okay, I'm sending the to the track called Vox New. Where is it? Can't find it now. Chorus, backing vocals, Vox delay, Vox New. Okay, it's a little bit strange. Ah, no, sorry. It's just wrote. This is just the name of the setting which I'm using, but this is routed directly to the main out of the interface, and I think with the vocals, just the backing vocals are sent to the this subgroup, because usually I have only one track of lead vocals, which I would like to treat separately from the backing vocals. The backing vocals are usually more tracks where I'm singing harmonies or something. As you can see here, these other yellow and orange things. And usually I want the backing vocals to be summed up to the same volume, but the lead vocals I'm treating separately. So that is the reason. And yeah, the backing vocals, they're going to this Vox track. As you can see here, also all the backing vocals are going to a reverb and a delay, which are some effect tracks. And as you can see here, by this R, the delay is just automized. So I will show that in a second. On the vocals, I'm using quite a lot of effects, which is necessary. Drastic EQ, where I'm, yeah, as you can see here, I'm raising the highs, cutting the lows usually, because you don't need them, at least not below maybe 200 Hertz. And then some drastic compression, tube compression, and a chorus, which is nice. Another compression, and on the lead vocals I'm using a limiter. Here I don't use the limiter because usually I like a little bit of dynamics in the backing vocals. They don't have to stay at the same volume because the vocals are very dynamic, and usually you don't want the backing vocals to be always in the foreground, at least in most of the situations where I use them. It just create a little bit of a subtle effect, maybe also with the harmonies. It's not like for example with Queen, where you have these huge walls of harmonies where you can hear every voice at the same volume. I'm more or less using it to double something here, or just to emphasize something, so that it's not that audible, but if you turn it off, then you will hear the difference. Anyway, on the lead vocals I'm using the limiter, and also very drastic. It's working in most of the time, I think. So as you can hear, on this track we have quite a lot of delay going on, but it's not always turned on. It's just automized by this track, and you can automate some effects just by hitting the right and then turn on the song and moving this fader how you want it. So just raise it at the parts where you want the delay to open, and then go down again. And I did that before, and the result is here, this curve. And of course you can edit it here, but I will just show you that when the faders So as you could hear, I wanted to be the signal to be repeated after I finished singing, so then I raise it and automate it. So that is the automation here. Typically I'm automizing the delays, and I recommend to do it because the delay is really effective as an effect. It's a drastic effect, but if you turn it on all the time, it's annoying. So with the reverb, it's another thing. You can leave it turned on in most cases at the same volume, but the delay you have to automate it. And yeah, so that is what I do with the vocals. And they're not panned usually. Sometimes I'm panning backing vocals a little bit left and right. And the thing is, with this panning, you have to you have to think which thing you want to have in the middle, which is usually something which is sticking out or having the I call it having the lead at this part of the song. Usually it's the lead vocals which are very prominent, you want to hear it, and if you don't hear it, it's very irritating as a listener. So they have to be in the middle, and also they have to be at a certain volume that you can hear them. Also the bass is, has to be in the middle because it's only one track. It's very irritating if it's just would be just on one side. Other than that, if you want to get something out of the way or something just accompanying the lead, like the guitars for example, I'm panning it to left or right usually. And only when I have something which I'm playing just one track, then I'm putting it in the middle. For example, here in the chorus, I have some guitar track which is called... It's that little effect. And this is in the middle. And but I don't want to interfere it with the lead vocals. So usually what you can do then, if you want to have something more in the back, you can cut the highs, because usually what brings something up to the front is the presence frequencies, maybe above 3K. And if you lower them, then it seems like it's more in the back. And also you can use reverb, which is also helping that something stays in the back. That is something which I do very often on the snare drum, for example. I like the room feel of the snare, especially not for the other things, not for the other drums, but usually it's the snare. As also, if you're listening to very world-class produced records, like maybe the Black Album by Metallica, it has a kick-ass ambient sound of the snare. And that's what it makes so huge. It's just the drum sound and especially the snare sound, in my opinion. Of course, the other things are also produced very good, very big, but I think the key to that fat sound for me is just the drums. And yeah, let's take a look at the drums. I'm using here this Superior drummer, and I can show you. I have different tracks here. Also, if you open the Superior drummer, you can see it playing here. And I didn't do that much here, except adding a little bit of ambience here in the mixer on the snare. Maybe I can show you. It's just the room sound here. Raise it a little bit. Using the Metal Foundry library. And with the bass together. But I don't do anything on the drums. As you can see here, nothing. And it's just the sound of the Superior drummer. Of course, I created or I played a little bit with the settings in the Superior drummer. But yeah, it sounds great in my opinion, really fat. And that is basically what I do here. And it's with this approach, you have the drum track, you have the maybe the rhythm guitar tracks, which are all the guitars. You have the clean guitars, which is one other subgroup. You have the backing vocals, you have the lead vocals, and you have the bass and the parts with the synth. So overall, just 7 faders you have to use to adjust the overall sound once it's done and connected like that. And that is something usually you don't touch the drums, you don't touch the bass. So it's just maybe leveling out the guitars and the lead vocals a little bit. And the result is going through the main out. And on the main out, usually I'm also limiting, as you can see here. And also here I'm using a little bit of mastering effects, because usually I had, I'm mixing everything like I wanted, but if you want to have a little bit more power in your mix, you can use some mastering effects. Of course, you send the tape to a mastering studio, but then I don't know if you are pleased with the result, because usually when you are mastering something, especially when you're using compressors, then it can change the overall mix. Maybe the reverb is just sticking out a little bit more, and maybe the bass is suddenly coming out, or maybe you have too much presence frequencies. So what I'd like to have is, I would like to hear the overall result. These are my my mastering effects. As you can see here, it's a multiband compressor, waves multiband, and also some waves plugins, some other compressors. And at the end, it's just a limiter. I don't know if I will use them all together, but yeah, that is what I do then on the main out, and also a little bit of a high and low cut. But it's not that drastic. It just makes it a little bit more powerful, but it doesn't change the overall sound that much. And that is basically what I'm doing. And yeah, hopefully when the album comes out, you like the result. And also, I hope this video helps you to organize your songs or produce. If you have any questions, please post them below in the comment section. Other than that, I hope to see you soon. Bye.